The NBA playoffs have been pretty crazy so far. We're going to go over each matchup and all the news so far that's happened in the NBA playoffs. So if you like the video, please like, comment, and subscribe. Let's get into it. So we'll start with last night, Tuesday. I couldn't be more happy, man. My Sixers beat the Boston Celtics 111-97. Tie the series 1-1. Very shocking from Philly, man. Boston Celtics are legit, contending team in the association. The Sixers are, playing bound with Tyrese Maxey, who, I thought was dealing with a little bit of a hand injury. That's why he's been a little fluky. And then VJ Edgecombe, who's, a sensational rookie. We'll talk about him in a second. But, yeah, the Sixers without Joel Embiid weather that storm, man, in Boston at that. And VJ Edgecombe, he is special. Stop sleeping on that kid, man. 30 points, 10 rebounds. Just got banged up a couple times, too. Went out the game at least 3 times. Went out, back to the locker room, got on the bike, had to work his legs. And every time he came in, I think, 6 for 10 from 3 in his second playoff game ever. Come on, man. That kid is the real deal. And then Tyrese Maxey, a guy who's been all NBA caliber all season. 29 points, 9 assists. That duo combined for 59 points. Come on, man. That's VJ Max. Tyrese Maxey was huge down the stretch. I mean, threes were raining everywhere for Philly, pretty much. A lot due to VJ Edgecombe. Paul George played very solid. Andre Drummond, solid. The Celtics were pretty ice cold from the three-point line. 13 of 50 as a team or something like that. Jaylen Brown led Boston, big 36 points. Tatum Tatum kind of struggled. Jaylen Brown was getting whatever he wanted. Nasty poster on Adem Bona in the beginning of the game. And, Jaylen Brown was locked in. Also another All-NBA player this season for sure. Now, it makes things interesting. Philly got crushed by 32 in the first game. And this was a massive bounce back, especially in Boston. So you're going back to Philly. It makes things a little interesting. So we'll see what happens. The other game that was going on is the Trailblazers and Spurs in San Antonio, of course. That series is now tied 1-1. Scoot Henderson, massive night for him in the playoffs. 31 points. Big comeback win, too. The Blazers closed out on a big run, 16-4 in the final minutes after trailing 14 in the fourth. Now, unfortunately, Victor Wembanyama left the game in the second quarter as he fell on his face pretty hard. It was honestly a scary fall for the big fella. After he was fouled by Drew Holiday, his jaw slammed on the floor, and they say he has a concussion. So he's in protocol. He'll miss at least game 3 and possibly more. So he's missing at least the next game. Series is pretty interesting now. I mean, Spurs collapsed without him. That's a big loss for San Antonio. That's their MVP caliber player. That's the unanimous defensive player of the year. Wemby's impact for that team. So they're headed back to Portland. Let's talk about the GOAT, man. GOAT James dominated last night. Absolutely dominated the Rockets. Up 2-0 now. Shockingly. This is really embarrassing for the Rockets, man. Lakers are without their 2 best scorers. Luka and Reeves. KD played pretty horrible in the second half and fourth quarter. He had about, 9 turnovers. I think he had 3 points in the whole second half, so it was just pretty horrible. Sengun, awful game from him. 1 shot outside the paint, and the guy shot below 50% at the rim. Come on, we can't be doing that as a big man in the NBA. That's awful. So yeah, LeBron was 8 for 20 at the end. Not amazing, but he still dominated. 28 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists. Played almost the entire second half. He's 41 years old. Come on, he shouldn't be doing this in a playoff game still. Carrying his team. Well, not carrying because, Luke Kennard played great, and it was a Marcus Smart legacy game on his own, too. Shout out to Marcus Smart, man. Balled out. 25 points. Now, we'll briefly cover the other games that already happened, a couple game ones. The Magic shockingly took out the Pistons. Game 1 was a huge 8-seed upset after Paolo Banchero was on fraud alert. Some are calling that. So Game 2 is tonight for that. I'm excited to see. Then you got the Cavs, Raptors. Cleveland's up 2-0 in that series. Not surprised. They're rolling. Donovan Mitchell's an all-time playoff riser, whether you like it or not. So Cleveland looking really good right now, but it is the Raptors. All respect to the Raptors, but nobody's expecting them to compete this year. Knicks Hawks is a 1-1 series. Very interesting. CJ McCollum went off Game 2 to steal it in Madison Square Garden. Knicks fans were absolutely shocked, I know. CJ McCollum at the end, though, missed 2 crucial free throws. Mikal Bridges came down the court for a mid-range shot, chance to win the game, but he missed it, unfortunately. So that series is very interesting, 1-1. We'll go over to the Thunder-Suns matchup. No surprise, Thunder blew them out Game 1. They're the favorite for a reason. They're looking to go back-to-back, and the best player in the world, SGA. SGA actually had a bad game shooting, but, he had a lot of free throws Game 1, so he still ended with 25. But I expect him to bounce back huge. The Nuggets versus the Timberwolves is interesting, because Denver won Game 1 at home, then Minnesota steals Game 2 on the road. That series is a dogfight. Minnesota versus Denver always is a dogfight. You got Jaden McDaniels calling out the whole Denver team, saying they're bad defenders. He's honestly lighting fire under them, which I'm excited to see. But now they're going to Minnesota. Ant-Man's popping it. That team's absolutely feeling it, man. Rudy Gobert, phenomenal job defensively down the stretch versus Nikola Jokic, too. Got to give him his credit because Rudy's quite disrespected. But we have a couple Game 2s tonight. We have the Magic versus Pistons in Detroit, Game 2, as well as OKC versus Phoenix, Game 2 in OKC. So, I don't know, man. The NBA playoffs have been pretty interesting so far. Do you agree with me? Let me know down low in the comments. If you want more NBA content or sports content, also let me know in the comments. Like, comment, subscribe, turn on noties, man, because we're going to be dropping videos daily. And yeah, appreciate y'all, man. See y'all in the next one.